Asmodeus, Satanas, Lucifer.
Hey guys, it's me, Halloween Dan, and today we're talking about just a couple of props that I've been wanting to talk about for a few days, but the fact that I got 1,000 subscribers kind of blew my mind a little bit and paused all my other thoughts for a second, so I haven't had a chance to do this. Because today I want to talk about a couple of props that have been leaked over the last week or so from Party City. And I have to say, before we get too far into the video, they're really cool, but I think someone at Party City might be having a meltdown. Let's investigate. So I said in my last video about Party City that it's one of them firms that up until last year I barely spoke about at all. And then last year they did some really cool stuff. And so far this year they've also done some really cool stuff. But unlike with most of the firms where you can kind of go, oh, I can sort of see what they did there. Oh, I kind of get the theme. Oh, I sort of see what they're doing. Party City's stuff so far is all over the show. It's like very random.
What is going on?
Like, at first, it seemed all a bit carnival themed because we had the fire eating guy and the pop-up sort of amusement bear thing. And we've also had the two characters from Terrifier that were brought out first of all, which are very cool. I haven't really spoken about them because I'm not really into them, but they're very, very cool if you love Terrifier. But then recently they've brought out two props that not only are they completely unlinked to them or unlinked to each other, but they are very, very random. I'm sort of on the fence. I don't know what to make of them. So the first prop I want to talk about is that one that I sort of showed in my intro, which is been given the name the Contaminated Kid. Now, when I first saw this, I was a bit like shocked. Nothing usually shocks me, but I was kind of shocked because although it was cool and though I get the concept, I did kind of think to myself, is this extreme? I don't know whether this is extreme. Like, I've seen gory props and all that kind of stuff. And we've always seen props that kind of toy with the idea of satanic symbology and that kind of stuff. But is this out and out satanic?
Okay, worship Satan.
Now, I'm not one of these people who gets offended by that kind of stuff. And each of their own and one thing and another. And I it's fine. I'm not offended. I think it's a really cool prop. It's just, I think it could cause some heckles to rise on the back of some people's necks. Let's just put it that way.
Stay in the car, Josiah. This is spiritual warfare.
Because what we've got here is a two-headed goat. It's a very awesome looking two-headed goat. It's quite a big goat. It stands about 4 foot in height. It's clearly got two heads. Both of those heads have bright orange glowing eyes, or yellow and orange glowing eyes. And you can hook this thing up to a smoke machine and smoke will pour out through the mouth. And then it's just making bleating goat noises. And it's cool. I have to say it's cool. But it might just offend some people. Not me. Doesn't offend me. I can just imagine some people it offending. And I don't know whether it's a little too dark for a lot of people's horns. It would be too dark for mine because I think it's just a goat, right? It's a fun two-headed goat prop. The heads are moving. It's a cool concept. It looks really cool. It's clearly quite dark. But I think you put that in your horn, it's definitely making a statement. Do you know what I mean? Like, I have a quite family-friendly horn, and I'm not sure if I put a two-headed goat that's breathing smoke out of its mouth into my horn, you could class it necessarily as a family-friendly horn anymore. I'm not sure I want it to always remain a family-friendly horn, but I'm just trying to think about the market that this is going to be aimed at. It's like $275 as well, so it's not really cheap, this prop, for something that's really only a 4-foot goat. I think it's really cool. I really, really like it. I don't want people to think, oh, Dan's offended by this thing. I am certainly not. I love it. I think it's really cool. I just wonder what people might think of that. And it's a weird thing to say that because, you know, we have a Halloween industry that's built on the backs of people who love gore and blood and guts and people with chainsaws chopping people in half and stuff. But I think that there are going to be some people who will see the slightly dark religious overtones of this and might find it offensive. So I think Party City have been very brave with this prop. It's weird because we've had devil props and sort of props, but there's something about this two-headed goat that has definite satanic overtones to it. Like, you can ignore it if you don't want to see it, and maybe you're like, Dan, you're seeing too far into this. But you can't deny, right? Goats, especially like a two-headed goat breathing smoke, definite satanic vibes, right? Am I wrong? Am I right? I think that's what most people will take from that. It's what I took from it straight away. I think it's very cool, but maybe a little too dark for some people. Maybe I'm just being a wuss, right? I probably am just being a wuss. I personally think it's cool. I just wouldn't buy it for my haunt because I have a lot of young kids coming by, and I don't think I want to start explaining to people why the goat's got two heads. Oh, it's a two-headed goat from hell. You know, I don't think I don't really want to really give that explanation to people on my doorstep. Yes, come and see the satanic goat, everyone. You know, I could maybe do without that on my doorstep. But maybe you're more adventurous than I am. The second prop I want to briefly talk about is another one that is very cool, but maybe a little niche and also a bit random. And that is the awesome prop that is Cthulhu. Now, I don't know an awful lot about Cthulhu, except that it was a creation of H.P. Lovecraft in the 1930s, part of his science fiction books, and he's like an underwater god of sorts. I don't know enough about the character, right? And this is the wall that stands between me and understanding this prop fully. I've not read the books, I don't know the fan fiction, I don't know enough about this character to be hyped about this. To me, it's a very cool prop, and I know the reference, I understand what it's about, but it's just a big squid-faced guy. You know what I mean? Now, take the prop as the prop, forget who it's based on, and it's a cool looking prop. You've got this very well detailed, monstrous character, squid for a face, bright red eyes. We don't know what the movement's going to be. I'm going to guess perhaps the wings might open, maybe a slight turn at the waist, that kind of thing. It doesn't look like it's got any movement in the face area, I don't think. It's a very cool looking thing, and the detail on this thing is great. The costume is great. It's got, you can see all the suckers on the tentacles. The detail looks really, really good. And it's a dark, creepy, mysterious squid monster creature. Very, very cool. You could maybe even say, if you didn't know anything about Cthulhu, but you still liked this prop, it's got definite Davy Jones vibes about it, right? It's clearly an undersea monster. My only problem is that it's very, like a lot of the props from Lowe's that we've talked about with this nautical theme, it's very specific. It's very nautical. Like, I don't think this makes sense in just a generic haunt or a haunt with tombstones and stuff. Just to have this big squid-faced creature standing there, and he's 9 foot. He's not even like the world's biggest prop. He's 9 foot, which is a pretty good size, but still, I think if you just have like a standard sort of haunt with pumpkins and tombstones and stuff, and then you've got this squid face guy, that to me doesn't make a lot of sense. It's either got to be in a nautical haunt, or maybe your haunt is based around the stories of H.P. Lovecraft. I don't know. It's a very weird thing. I like it. I like the look of it. I like the detail of it. And again, what I like is that Party C is thinking outside of the box and doing something a bit different and bringing characters that maybe we didn't think about having, you know. But and it's a cool concept, and I think I like it. But for me, the barrier is I don't know enough about the character, and it's a little too specific to that story. A bit like Wednesday is a bit too specific to Wednesday, a bit like all the nautical stuff is a bit too specific to nautical. I think this ties in with that. It's a bit too specific to nautical. I can imagine if you've got a nautical haunt this year, you're probably like rubbing your hands like, oh my God, I've got so much choice. There is so many nautically themed things. There's captains, there's the squid mouth guy, now there's him. There's so many choices out there for you to theme around your haunt. So congratulations, nautical haunt theme people. But for everyone else, this might just be a bit too random. Even for people who love this character, it might be a bit too random. I can imagine there's someone who loves the books or loves the fan fiction or whatever and would like this character just to have it, but I don't know how well it works in just a generic Halloween display. But again, maybe this is me overthinking it, and who cares? You know, if you like the character and you think it looks cool, who cares? Put it in your haunt. It's not going to bother most people. Anyway, guys, that was it today. I just want to briefly run down those props because I've been waiting to do this video for a couple of days, and like I say, didn't get a chance. So thank you for watching. Let me know in the comments what you think about these props. I'd love to hear what you think about them. I think they're very cool, just a little bit random. But you know what? Random's cool too. Let me know what you think. And I will see you in the next one. Keep it spooky. Bye.